I'm Carol Angela Davis. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got your stories. I'll tell you what's happening around the world today. As you know, it's Thursday. It is the 8th of March, 2012. We're going to begin with your headlines, folks. A defection from Syria. Oh, yeah. Also today, the power of greed. Plus, are the rich just more willing to cheat? We'll tell you about that. That's a study, folks. Yeah. Plus, the EU, the European Union, says quotas may be the only way to go. We'll tell you about that. Then a big Toyota recall here in the United States. Plus, more. Lack of total compassion from Sears. Who's surprised about that? Probably no one. Then buried alive by choice, and now he's dead, folks. And then an oral circumcision that resulted in the death of a baby. We'll tell you about that. It's just coming to light, okay? Let's begin with some international news. A defection from Syria, folks. Syria's Deputy Oil Minister Abdel Hussein announcing his defection in a video, an online video. He's the highest-ranking civilian official to abandon the Syrian regime since the uprising against President Bashar Assad erupted. That was about a year ago. The UN now estimating that about 7,500 people have been killed, I should say, in that conflict. Also today, in other news, of all the rich people in the world, did you know that most of them are from the United States of America? That's right, folks. Those are the ones that are among the richest 1% in the world. Most of them from the United States. You should know this, that to be among the richest 1% in the world, a family of four needs to make about $136,000 a year after taxes. But we should tell you that as of 2005, which is the latest year that the data are available, about half of the richest people of the world, or 29 million of them, living right here in the United States, folks. And that is according to World Bank economist Branko Milanovic in his book, The Haves and the Have-Nots. You should know 29 million of the richest 1% living here in the United States, another 4 million live in Germany. The rest are mainly scattered throughout Europe, Latin America, and a few Asian countries. And statistically speaking, you're not going to believe this, you should know that none of them live in Africa, China, or India, despite the fact that those are some of the most populous areas in the world. All right, also, folks, get this. Researchers reporting in the proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences say this about the wealthy, according to a new study. Apparently, the study found that the upper class, as defined by the study, were more likely to break the law while driving, more likely to take candy from children, more likely to lie in negotiation, not surprising, more likely to cheat to increase their odds of winning a prize, and also more likely to endorse unethical behavior at work. Well, we know that. Just go to Wall Street. All right, folks, also today, let's go to the EU, where the European Commission says it may have to pass laws to make sure more women get into top management jobs in Europe. That's because the EU says companies are just too slow to improve the gender balance there in Europe. Right now, only 1 in 7 board members at Europe's top firms is a woman. That's about 13.7%. So the EU says quotas, affirmative action, whatever you want to call it, may be the only way to go, because at the current rate, women are getting into top management, folks. It'll take more than 40 years to reach a significant gender balance, which is about 40% of both sexes, according to the Europeans. Well, you should know that women make up 27% of boards at the largest Finnish companies. They make up 26% in Latvia. And you should also know, folks, that Belgium, France, Italy, the Netherlands, and Spain have all introduced gender quotas for companies. That's right, folks. Sometimes you got to legislate it. All right, turning here to the United States, to Toyota Motor Sales USA, the company recalling nearly 700,000 vehicles. Now, those recalls involve about 495,000 Tacoma trucks, all made during the 2005 through 2009 model years. Also, about 70,500 Camry sedans. They were all made during the 2009 model year. And then about 116,000 Venza crossovers made during the 2009 through 2011 model years. If you have a Toyota, you should go to the website immediately. It's a lot of cars. All right, now, take a look at Sears, folks. The company tries to stay in the game, as you know, by selling off 1,200 stores and closing 100 to 120 stores for good, but that is not going to stop Sears Holdings chairman and billionaire hedge fund manager Eddie Lampert from buying himself a new $40 million estate. He had to close a lot of stores to get that house, but he got it. And in his world, that's what matters, folks. And guess what? Just to show you how totally, just apparently without care this whole situation is, Lampert's buying the estate in Florida, which also happens to be the state where Sears is closing the most stores. 11 stores had to close so he could get his house. get his crib, okay? All right, now, I guess he'll maybe hire some of those people as maids. I don't know, groundskeepers maybe. I mean, something that probably won't involve benefits, of course. Okay. Well, the new house is going to reportedly be on Indian Creek Island. It has the 8th highest income of any locale here in the United States, okay? You should know that joining the local country club there costs $125,000 as an initial fee and then $10,000 a year. Go Eddie. All right, meanwhile, he tried to break a record for the longest time spent being buried alive, and now, folks, he is dead. That's right, folks. He's 24 years old, Sri Lankan man, burying himself along with the help of family and friends. He buried himself in a 10-foot trench that was sealed with wood and soil, but he died later that afternoon, and that became his grave, 10 foot deep. Okay, that's pretty deep. His family says he was buried alive on 2 other occasions and for 2.5 and 6 hours respectively and did fine. So no word yet on the cause of death, but I'm quite sure we can all imagine what it was. And then finally today, back here at home, how disgusting, folks. It's just coming to press that a 2-week-old boy died at a Brooklyn hospital after contracting herpes through a religious circumcision ritual. Apparently, the baby died on September 8th, 2011, not 28th, excuse me, September 28th, 2011 at Maimonides Hospital there in Brooklyn. The cause of death listed as, quote, disseminated herpes simplex virus type 1, complicating ritual circumcision with oral suction, unquote. Gave that baby herpes and the baby died. It's unclear who performed the circumcision at this time, but I'm quite sure authorities have a pretty good idea, because you remember back in 2005, that's when all this first came to light. Of course, I had it on this show about those religious circumcisions and the person giving the circumcision having herpes and passing it on to the babies, okay? Those are the stories for today, folks. Have yourself a wonderful day. I'll see you next time, of course, right here. And with more news, I'll tell you what's happening around the world with your reality news check. As you know, I am Carol Angela Davis. I hope you'll follow me on Twitter, folks. Please follow me at Carol Angela D. And, of course, please, like me on Facebook, Carol Angela Davis. See you soon.